We are going to look at using trig to solve for sides and angles today. For the warm-up, what does SOHCAHTOA stand for? And it's just an acronym to remember how to set up your trig ratios. So the first one for SO is sine. So we have sine of an angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is for cosine of an angle equals the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And tangent of an angle equals adjacent, or opposite over adjacent. Goal today to review using trig to solve for sides and angles of a triangle. So when you're solving for sides, you want to remember to cross multiply. So when you have a triangle and you don't have enough information, a right triangle, you don't have enough information to use Pythagorean theorem, start with the angle that's not the 90-degree angle. Assign your side, so if this 37 is our angle, the opposite side is this 37. The hypotenuse is the longest side. The adjacent side is the other side next to the angle that's not the hypotenuse. So here we have O and A. So if we look at SOHCAHTOA, we have O and H, not O and A. So we're going to use sine. So this will be sine of our angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. And then you're going to cross multiply and solve. So we'll put sine of 37 over 1, cross multiply. We get 37 equals x sine of 37. Sine of 37 is a number ratio here. So to get rid of it, we're going to divide by sine of 37. That cancels it here. We get x. So in our calculator, we just type in 37. Divided by sine of 37. So here's the trig button, sine 37. And so that side, the hypotenuse, the longest side is about 61.5 if I round. So x is about 61.5 units long. So that's, we looked at this before, how you solve for sides. You set up the ratio, you cross multiply and solve for your missing side. Let's try another one here. Again, start with your angle. So here, again, you can't use the 90, you have to use the other angle. If you use the 90, then you have two adjacent sides, and then we wouldn't be able to figure out a trig ratio to solve. So with this angle right here, again, we have the hypotenuse as across from the 90. The adjacent side is the other side next to your angle. So here, if we think about SOHCAHTOA, we're going to use cosine. So we have cosine of 63 equals adjacent, which is 23 over x. And here we cross multiply and solve. So we have 23 equals x times the cosine of 63. To get rid of the cosine of 63, we are going to divide. And then we can type that in our calculator. Let me put my calculator up here. So it's 23 divided by cosine of 63. And we get 50.6, so around a 50.7. And again, check the hypotenuse should be the longest side, and it is longer than 23. Let's do one more example solving for sides. So I'm going to make one up here. Let's say we have, my workspace quit on me. Let's restart that. Okay, let's draw a triangle here. Let's say we have our angle here, I don't know, let's call this like 42 degrees. And let's say we want the opposite side. We have the adjacent side, which is, how about 10? All right, so here again, here's our angle, 42. We have opposite, we have adjacent, we have tangent of 42 equals opposite over adjacent. Can we cross multiply? This time when we cross multiply, x is already by itself, so it saves us a step. And that equals 10 tangent 42. When x is already by itself, you can just type that in your calculator, 10 tangent of 42, and our answer that side's about 9. So x equals 9. So again, when you solve for sides, you cross multiply. Now solving for angles is even shorter. Solving for angles, you want to take the inverse. And the inverse is when you have that little -1 next to your sine, cosine, or tangent. So let's do an example. Let's say a ladder leans against a wall as shown. You see the ladder's 5, I'm going to assume this is feet long, 2.5 feet away against the wall. What is the angle between the ladder and the wall? So again, we circle our angle, we assign our sides. 5 would be the hypotenuse across the 90. We have the opposite side, so this is sine. So sine of x equals opposite over hypotenuse. To get rid of the sine, we take the sine inverse, so x equals sine inverse of our ratio 2.5 over 5. And that's what you type in your calculator. So sine inverse of 2.5 over 5. And that would be 30 degrees. So x equals 30 degrees. Okay, you try. So again, we have our angle. We have our hypotenuse across from the 90, and we have our adjacent side. So this is cosine. Cosine of angle A equals adjacent 6750 over hypotenuse 8100. To get rid of the cosine, we do the cosine inverse. Should write A equals cosine inverse of our fraction 6750 over 8100, and we type that in. So cosine inverse of 6750 divided by 8100. And our angle is about 33.6 degrees if we round to the nearest tenth. So angles take the inverse and sides you will cross multiply. So in the next podcast, we'll review a little bit more.